Hey everyone, Life487 here in widescreen. Today I'm going to have a look at a product which is new to me. It's been around, from what I can tell, for a couple of months now. They have put out a new version of it. It's called the Stardust Cartomizer, so the Vision Ego Stardust Cartomizer. There it is there. I'll just take it off the Ego battery. So you can see obviously an Ego sort of 510 with the cup over the top style connection, a clear sort of Clearomizer style thing there. I'll just see if I can focus on there with that. Alright, so yeah, so it's got clear, and then in there you can see it's got like a CE2 style wicking system, well, very similar anyway. So except that the wick only goes up here. It's actually got, just turn it around there, so you can actually see it's got 1.6 mil, 1.2 mil, and there's roughly, well, I'm actually holding on an angle, but it says there's roughly, what, 0.8 mil or something in there right now. It's fairly low at the moment. So I will show you how to refill it in a sec. At the top, it's got a mouthpiece here, as you can see, but it actually screws off slightly. I was trying to pull it off when I first got it and I couldn't get it off, and it's actually got a tiny bit of thread, which I'll show you. You can sort of see at the top there, that metal there on this side is actually a thread, so it actually screws in to hold it nice and secure. And then, so that's basically just the mouthpiece. And then you've got, which we can see in there, but there's that little cone thing in there. That's what they've added. That's the new addition to these cartomizers. But essentially what that does is when this mouthpiece goes in, it slides in over the top of that and creates a perfect seal. So when you sort of screw that on, if I can do it, so now it's screwed on. It forms a perfect seal, so that juice can't sort of go over and into the inside and then leak out the bottom and all that. So you can basically, turn it upside down, and it's not going to leak, into the actual tube itself, and then you get all juice in your mouth, etc., etc., etc. So I'll just fix that. Focus up again. Okay, so that's it there. It's rated, I believe this one, I got this one from vapeking.com.au. I think this one, it was like rated at 2.2 to 2.4 or something like that. It was the lowest of the resistance ones they had, which is still quite high in resistance, to be honest. Anyway, the way you fill it is you simply take the mouthpiece off. And then I'll just refocus that so we get nice and close. Oh, maybe a bit too close there. There we go. So yeah, so you essentially just, oh, my fingers are in the way. How's that? Yeah, you just sort of slide it down the side like that. So there's no sort of trying to get the little plastic cap off like with a CE2, or break the seal and all that kind of stuff. You just take the mouthpiece off, put the juice down the side, and it's filled up. That's it. And then you just put the mouthpiece back on. That's it. It's done. So how does it vape? This is really the number one thing. On a Ego battery, which is what they're designed for, I find most things don't crackle and pop. It doesn't have enough power to really make the atomizer or the cartomizer crackle and pop, and I'm just used to hearing that. So for me, it sounds like it's underpowered. But I've been vaping it like this for the last few hours, and it seems fine. It just doesn't make that crackle pop sort of sound, but it's fine. So I'll just So you can see there, plenty of vapor coming out. You know, it's the same level of flavour as I would get if I put it on my bolt. But see, with a bolt or most e-cigs, it's flat like this. So you need to get a little adapter. Put that on there. So now it sort of sits up away from the actual mod itself. So I'll take this one off. Because you can see on the Ego battery, it's raised up away from the body of the battery itself. But with an adapter, you can just easily convert basically any e-cig in there. So that you get a little bit more vapor. Because it's unregulated, so it's like 3.7 volts. I'm not sure if you can hear that crackling there. That's what I'm talking about, that crackle pop sort of sound. So I'm used to that. So that's sort of how I sort of gauge whether the battery needs to be changed, or you know there's not enough liquid there or something like that. So when I'm not getting that sound, it's like there's something wrong, and I need to, as I say, either change the battery or something's wrong anyway. When you put it on here, on the Ego, which is what it was designed for, it does sort of crackle and pop, but it's less crackling, more just fizzing sort of. But yeah, no, plenty of vapor, plenty of flavour there. Now, as for flavour, I've got this is actually another product I'll review another day, but it's the 801 Cartomizer, and it's the it's a different one. Let's just say that when you put this same juice into a Cartomizer, it's roughly the same amount of vapor as I was getting when I had it on this one, but it's much stronger. So in this one, I can taste the maple syrupy sort of sweetness of this particular flavour from Vapeking, which is the smooth tobacco. When I put it into this one, that mapley syrup flavour goes away. Well, to a certain extent it does anyway. But it's a lot less pronounced, so it's a weaker sort of flavour in this, not to a great degree. It's not completely terrible like the old Ego tanks were. Terrible flavour. You can still taste it, and this one actually ends up tasting more like a cigarette, whereas this one, when it's in the Cartomizer, same juice, sort of tastes, as I say, more maple syrupy, more sweeter. So yeah, so that's the Stardust. As I say, convenience-wise, it's really awesome because, as I say, with it, even the tanks, you know, you sort of need to fill around a little bit to get the juice in. So this is a self-contained, sort of like a tank Cartomizer / Cartomizer sort of thing. Completely sealed, gives you a sort of gauge as well, so you know how much juice you've got left and all that kind of stuff. You can see how much you've got left. Yeah, so I think it's definitely worth giving a go. And yeah, that's the Stardust Cartomizer. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.